Um, Hi. This is this is sort of gonna be my testimony on New Jersey Governor School of Science. So I think as an introduction, I want to talk about who I am and and how Governor School has affected me as a person. So before I tell you who I am, I think you need to know who I was. In middle school, I was a C student, and to people who didn't know me back then, it's sort of surprising to them. I don't think I was a C student because of a lack of trying. Honestly, I I mean I guess I just didn't really understand middle school, or it just I don't know. I actually did try. I can honestly say, and I will honestly say to my teachers that I got a C in, that I tried, and I tried hard in seventh grade. So 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 that was at Riverdale, but then I somehow by some miracle I got into Bergen Tech Teterboro, and I thought, this is a chance for me to make a new start, I guess. And I feel like at Bergen Tech, it just I just fit. I just sort of understood the work I was doing, and I understood how to approach it. I remember freshman year being really easy, really fun. I never stressed about anything freshman year. I can't think of one thing. Um, so so in high school, I sort of focused myself. I I had a good head start my freshman year. So with that, I was able to continue and keep being a really studious person. So academically speaking, I had really good grades, um, and I found myself in some leadership positions in clubs. Found myself doing things, making websites, sort of, just stuff in general. But nothing I feel like is groundbreaking. Nothing I feel like no other high school student would not be able to do. And I also go to a technical school, so I'm in the computer science program. If you guys were wondering, but I've also sort of felt like I'm kind of a lone wolf, so to speak. I don't know. I like working on things alone. I sort of feel like I'm alone. I like um, if I had to describe it, I feel like I don't really connect with anyone, like 100%. Like they won't really understand me, and I feel like just because of that, it's not. I can't really find a lot of people at Bergen Tech that I could really connect with. I honestly, I honestly don't feel like anyone I can really connect with. And I hope no one at Bergen Tech is really watching this. But if you are, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. So what does that have to do with governor's school? You're probably wondering. I want to talk about my experiences. So when I was planning out this video, I wanted to go through all the people that were important to me, and so I went through and I thought of it. I brainstormed. I wrote them all down, and I sort of thought that I really don't think I could include everyone, because for everyone that I've met at governor school, I could say something about, and I have at least one memory that I could feel like was important to me in some way, in some meaningful way, and has changed me as a person. So, but if there's, so I really couldn't fit that in just one video. I might do a future video where I just go through and talk about everyone, talk about my experiences more in depth. But right now, since a couple months have passed since governor's school, it sort of feels distant, like that was a long time ago. It's gone now, and a lot of what I thought was my emotions around governor's school and my thoughts might be a little bit blurry, I want to say. I honestly should have done this video right when governor's school ended, but I don't know. I just honestly I wasn't confident in myself. I didn't know whether I should make it or shouldn't. At nights I would think, okay, tomorrow morning I'm gonna make the video. And then next morning comes and I think, no, that's a stupid idea. I really don't want to make a video talking about governor's school. I don't know. I just didn't think I could do it. So since I'm supposed to give a testimonial, I think, especially since governor's school is defunded, and I don't really know the politics behind it, but if I can help get it funded with talking about my experience, I think I will. And I would be more than glad to do that. And I would even do anything beyond that, because I think governor's school is important. So, my first experience at governor's school is getting off my car and going to get my keys. I remember going up to the little station, and I remember I asked Shanu, she asked me for my name, and I said Simon Zhang, and she found it for me. That was the first time it really hit me that, wow, I made it to governor's school. Like, really, this is it. I'm here. Like, I actually did get in. That shook me. That like really jolted me, because I mean, I didn't really think that I would get in, if I'm really being honest. But also, I also feel like if like it was just like, this is reality for me. Like, I really did make it. Like, out of 300 kids, I was selected as one of the 60 that comprised of governor's school. Really? So that is my earliest memories of governor's school. And I think about how I got in. I like to think I wrote really good essays, but then I don't know, maybe Dr. I don't really want to talk about that. But I'm glad I went. And I think if there's one thing I want to say, is that these people who are in governor's school, right? They're there because, not because they went to some prep school, not because they went to some, not because their parents have money, not because they have legacy, not because of their athletic, not because of like anything, other than the reason is they are a person who cares about science and has evidence to support that. When you take people like that, that's a common thing that everyone has to have. So nobody got in there based on some other reason that maybe they would have gotten into college for, right? Like legacy, let's say. That's not a thing at governor's school. So, in a sense, we're all here because we made it here. We worked hard, and this is what we have to show for it. This is it. We made it. And like, there's no grades there. There's no like real incentive for you to do homework. But I found that everyone did homework anyways, and everyone always like worked together on it. And nobody was ever cutthroat. Nobody was ever competitive, even though you had very competitive people who come from competitive backgrounds. And that was really touching to me, that we could put aside our egos and our competition for 3 weeks. We could come together, and enjoy each other, enjoy each other's companies, instead of, oh, he has a 3.9 GPA, I only have a 3.89. I should sabotage him or anything. I don't know. I hear those stories a lot in school, but whatever. So so you don't have any grades. You don't have any real incentive for people to do work. But why? Why do they still decide to put in so much hard work? Why do they decide to stay up at night making a science report, a science presentation on the research that we did? Why do they choose to do homework in like molecular orbital theory, which is like I never really was good at that class. It's because they like it. It's because they like science. It's because they want to be here. It's not just something that they want to put on their resume for college apps. No, it's because they want to expand their knowledge and be a better person because of it. So I'm gonna share a personal story, and it's only one. So I'm sorry if you weren't included, which is probably most of you, since I'm only gonna be talking about one person. Um, and that was Andrew Tran. So I took a cancer and cell biology class, and what we had to do was we were supposed to make a presentation based off of something relating to cancer or treatments to cancer or something of the like. Sorry, that that we found on science journals or something like that, and we had to present it. So we had to come up with an idea first, and then see who would want to be on our team. So I wanted to study the effects of testosterone on prostate cancer, and nobody went on my team except for Andrew. Andrew walked over and he said, "Okay, Simon, let's get to work. Tell me about it." So I explained it to him. We went back. We did all the work, but there's one thing. So we needed to work on it the next morning because the printer wasn't working. So I asked him, "Hey, Andrew, could you wake me up at 6? Could you knock on my door, and then we could work together and get it done?" So I'm sleeping, and I hear a knock on the door, and it's Andrew. And he woke me up. He actually woke me up at 6 o'clock, so that we could finish our work. And he went on. He did all this extra stuff, even though it wasn't really his idea of wanting to study testosterone and cancer. But he did it because I asked him why he did it. Right? It was only me, and he's joining me, so it's only us two. Where there were groups of like 4, or yeah, I think the most was 4. So I asked him why he did it. He says, "I thought it was interesting." He could have joined other groups, right, where there were more members. He could have had an easier part. He could have been sleeping in, but he chose to wake up at 6 o'clock so that he could wake me up and that we could go to work. And he went out and he did a lot more work than I did. He found articles, he printed them for me, we put it all together. He explained so much that I couldn't, and I'm not gonna put any excuses behind it. I just didn't work as hard as he did, as hard as I should have, and I'm sorry for that, Andrew. And he's such a nice guy, and he forgives me. And on the last day, as we're all saying our final goodbyes, and people are crying, I sort of didn't really cry. I'm not a person who feels emotional goodbyes. I always feel like maybe one day we'll see each other again. If if people are really important to me, we'll see each other. We'll find a way. Someday. Someday. And I say goodbye to Andrew. And I thank him for everything that he's done. And he says to me, "Hey man, we're partners through and through." And at that moment, that hit me hard. It was it was like it was like so touching for me. I was on the verge of breaking down and crying because this is someone who's known me for such a short time, but he would do so much for me, and he would do all this for me, to like research it and print out the articles. And when the teacher asked me to describe it, he saw that there were some parts I couldn't understand, so he jumped in and he helped me out. And even though he didn't have to, there were so many things he didn't have to do, but he did it anyways, just because, as he said, he was my partner. And that was really touching. That showed me what type of person I have to be, what it means to be a leader. You're always sort of going ahead. You have to go beyond, and to sort of support others and help them out. It's not just about someone having an idea, right? It's not just like me wanting to do some topic. No, it's about showing up, and it's about doing what you're supposed to do and going even beyond that and holding others accountable as well. And I don't think I could have had this experience anywhere else, because if there were no grades for him, right? So he's not really doing this for any other reason other than the fact that he likes science. Where am I going to find people like that? Where? In school, why do people do assignments? Because they're graded for them. It's graded. If it wasn't graded, do you think anyone would help me out like that? No. Do you think anyone will wake up at 6 o'clock to knock on my door to wake me up and so that we could get to work? No. I could only find that in a governor's school. I can't find that in college. I can't find that in work. If I have kids, I really doubt my kids would even do that for me. I doubt my wife, if I ever get married, hopefully, but I doubt my wife would even do that for me. But Andrew did. We knew each other for like 2 weeks then. And that's why I think governor school should be kept. There were a lot of people who made governor school possible and really made governor school. I'm sorry I couldn't say all of them, and I'm sorry I could only mention one. But I want this to be sort of a video that I want to send to the New Jersey State. And I don't want to just go on and on, even though I kind of did this video. But I might make a separate video where I talk about everything I want to talk about. So, I don't know, maybe stay tuned for that. But if you're someone who's head of the state, who's part of the funding of New Jersey Governor School of Science, I want you to consider what I say. I want you to understand, right? I'm at work right now. I got stuff to do for senior year. I have an internship on weekends. I have to teach. I have to go to Columbia for SHP. I don't have a moment's of rest. I don't really have time where I could really relax with friends. I don't really have the carefree moments I had at governor school, that where I like did things out of enjoyment and not, or like because of enjoyment, like 100% because I enjoyed it, instead of also because I need to do it or because someone asked me to, someone told me to. And that that 3 weeks, I feel like those will be the most carefree weeks I will ever have. Like going forward, there's probably nothing but work for me ahead. And I sort of accept that. You know, I got senior year, and then I got college, and then I got, maybe I'll find a job, maybe I'll go to MBA, but I gotta study and I gotta work hard, and I gotta really put myself. Um, so please, if you're head of the state, or if you're, you know, part of the funding, just think about what I say. Think about think about how it affected me, and maybe you'll hear more from me. Maybe not. We'll see. But until then, I guess I'll see you guys.